the Walls Talk. I'm your host and founder, William Thomas McCallum Jr., the voice from within and soldier for the silenced. This isn't just a podcast. This is a platform, a battleground for truth, a microphone for the voiceless. We're here to amplify the stories of the incarcerated, the men and women whose voices have been buried beneath steel, stigma, and silence. Here, nothing is sugarcoated. The truths aren't ignored, erased, or rewritten. They're raw, unfiltered, and unapologetically real. Whether they're doing time for past mistakes or enduring the weight of injustice, their stories matter, and they will be heard. This is about more than exposure. It's about awakening. We exist to spark dialogue, ignite reform, and demand liberation. We're not begging for sympathy. We're building a movement. So stay tapped in, stay locked in. This is Behind the Walls Talk. Welcome to the revolution. This interview is more than just questions. It's a platform for truth, growth, and humanity. Every story we hear behind these walls is a story the outside world needs to understand. So to our guest today, thank you in advance for being open, honest, and courageous.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
This is your space. Your voice matters here. Let's begin. What's your name, your opus number, and where are you from?
Anderson Hazelwood. Opus number is 0542028. I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago. I reside in New York. And in the state of North Carolina, I was in the Raleigh-Durham area.
Okay. What were you convicted of, and how much time did they sentence you to?
I was convicted in Raleigh, North Carolina. They sentenced me to 38 to 48 years.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
For a car accident. So I have 3 boxcar sentences, 2 second-degree murder, and 1 free to elude arrest.
How long have you now been incarcerated?
21 years.
How old were you when you came into the system, and what were you feeling at that time?
I was about 31. I was about 31 when I came to the system. And, oh, man, I was angry at everything, you hear me? Really angry, you know. Felt unjust, you know, felt, you know, it was unjust, you know, on what happened. And, you know, felt like, you know, the lawyers in them took advantage, got money for free, you know, a lot of different feelings, you know. Those feelings, you know, still here today, but, you know, just learn how to deal with it in a different manner, you know.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yeah, I had a son. He was 3 years old at the time. He's about to be 24 this year.
What's his name?
Anderson Jabril Hazelwood. He's in the Marines.
Oh, Junior.
Yeah, he's in the Marines.
How does it feel being physically absent from your child's life?
Oh man, that's the biggest hurt right there. You know, not being there for 3 years of his life, and then not being there for 21 years of his life. That's like the biggest, you know, the biggest hurt of all to me. You know, because that's my only child. So
yeah. So what do you do to be present for them mentally and spiritually? What do you do to be present for him mentally and spiritually?
We used to have, you know, I used to call like basically every day. You know, at first, you know, it was called every day, and, you know, I guess after a while I got tired of telling a lie that I'll see you soon, and just started keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like explain to him what was going on, and because he didn't understand it at first, you know. Now, you know, he comes and visit, and he understands what's going on. But mentally, you know, talking to him, trying to get him to stay on the right track, not follow in your footsteps, not be out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for that every day that he didn't take that road. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's right. Do you have anyone in society who supports you, like family, friends, or partner?
Yeah. I got family, you know what I'm saying, friends that's been there, you know, for 21 years. They have been there, you know what I'm saying, come and visit, you know what I'm saying, whenever they can. Okay. But, you know, I always talk to them like every day. I talk to them, so, you know what I'm saying, now that they got the video stuff, you know, I'll video with them also.
Yeah, that's very helpful right there. And what would you like to say to them for their support for you?
No, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the support. I'm thankful for God allowing these people to be a part of my life through this journey for all these years. Because I know some people being inside of here, they don't have nobody out there that is physically supporting them. You know what I'm saying? Especially financially. You know what I'm saying? So alhamdulillah that Allah blessed me to stay financially fit. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for that part. You know, but
that's right.
You know, you can never replace those people right there, because they have showed you through the toughest times to stand. You see what I'm saying? So those are family for real. You know.
That's right. Hey, tell us about your childhood. What experiences, traumas, or conditions that shaped your path?
Oh man. I grew up in Trinidad, right? So I grew up in Trinidad until I was like about 15 years old. And then my mother sent for me in America. Me and my older brother came to America. So, you know, at those times in Trinidad,
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
I had already took to the streets, you know what I'm saying? I had stopped going to school. I was supposed to be learning a trade, doing body work and stuff like that. But I was in the streets, you know, running up in stores and stuff like that. And coming to America, you know, at first everything was, you know, you're a new person, you new guy on the block, and everything is quiet, you know what I'm saying, until things get open. And then once things get open, it's full throttle, you know what I'm saying? And then I came to North Carolina and came down here trying to get some money. And in the mix of it, caught a charge, got back out, and then I seen a different path. You know what I'm saying? I seen a path where I can go legitimate and start investing in businesses.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Then I started doing the music, you know, parties and stuff like that. You know, so, you know, a lot of times we sit back and, you know, we think of the street life as really that life to be, and that is what makes you hard. That's what makes you the tough guy, the solid guy, you know what I'm saying, the real guy. But, you know, when you sit back here, it does create and form you to be this person. But also, you know, over the years I learned that whoever you are, as far as a stand-up person, you was going to be that person no matter what field of life you took. You see what I'm saying? That characteristic of you was going to always be you. You know what I'm saying? So these paths lead us down certain roads, and when it leads us down, this is where we end up. You know, could I have done a better, be more just in the system for my time? Yeah, but at the end of the day, this is what we're dealing with. So I've been in here and I've been fighting since then to get back out of this place. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can't accept the time that they gave me.
So what do you think led you to this point in your life?
Where I'm at today, in my life right now?
Yeah. What do you think led you to this point?
Well, where I'm at today, Islam have helped me out a whole lot. You hear me? The type of person I was and how I seen things, that person is still in me, but I have learned how to deal with him in, how would I say, remove the way that he thinks and see things the way I was seeing things before this whole situation transpired.
Okay. Let me ask you this question here. Have you lost any loved ones while incarcerated?
Yeah, I lost my father since I've been in here. I lost one of my favorite uncles since I've been inside of here. You know what I'm saying? You know, the situation, like I told you from the door, my son's mother was in a car accident when I had the accident, and my stepson. So, yeah, I have lost a few people that was really dear to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm
Lost
sorry to
some
hear that,
friends.
man. Like I said before.
Yeah, lost some friends. I just found out about a month and a half ago. One of my mans in them had passed away from pneumonia. Just found out that my mother, she's dealing with high blood pressure and different things. My stepfather is sick right now. He's dealing with cancer. So, you know, praying that they keep that God keep holding them on, that I can get out there and hold them and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, definitely lost some people since I've been inside of here.
Yeah, man. Sorry for your loss, my brother. And my prayers go out to you. My prayers go out to you and your family as well, okay?
Thank you for that.
Let me ask you this, like, how do you deal with grief, loneliness, or trauma while being behind these walls?
Oh man, I'm telling you, that's a good question. The faith in the law, you know what I'm saying? The faith in the law and refusing to be feeling weak, you know what I'm saying? Because we in an environment that, you know, well, the way I was raised up, it's like you didn't feel sympathy for yourself, or you didn't feel weakness. You know what I'm saying? You got cut, you patch it up and keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? The cut was deeper, you stitch it up and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Very rare you go to the hospital. So to be in here dealing with these different things, I just put it to the side and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Is that a good thing? You know, some people say no, it's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to somebody. But you know, I look at people today like everybody got something going on with them. So I better off just talking to myself or talking to somebody who feels and sees things the same way I see things. You feel what I'm saying?
That's right.
And nobody, you know, you could talk to somebody else, but if they never went through what I've been through or seen what I've been through, how they going to basically understand what I'm really going through? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Hey, my brother, if you will you please hang up on call right back? Behind the Walls Talk will continue. Behind the Walls Talk continue with my brother and comrade, Mr. Anderson Hazelwood. Hey, Mr. Hazelwood, what has your prison experience been like so far?
Say it again?
What has your prison experience been like?
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it has been an experience of a lifetime, you hear me? Good and bad, learning through certain things, I would say. How do you break down 21 years of being in prison in the shortest manner? You got your good and you got your bad. You got your officers that's good, that treat you like with a respect, and you got the officers that treat you, you know, they got dickheads. And you know, I guess I'll say I say alhamdulillah, all praises due to God that I am who I am, and I have not been treated like a lot of people that I've witnessed over the years of being in prison. You know what I'm saying? Somewhat, even though it has been unfair treatment, it still has been a respectful to, they didn't put their hands on me, or I have never been maced before. You feel what I'm saying?
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Let me ask you this right here. What does an average day inside look like for you?
Average day. Get up. At this given point in time right now, get up. I got a job as a janitor, clean up. Then I take time for my little studies. I'm into the stock market, so I take time out to go over that business stuff, you know. And I play soccer, you know. That's my activities in the evening. I go out there and play soccer. Try to play it every day I can. You know what I'm saying, to stay fit. Don't eat out of the kitchen. Don't trust the kitchen. I eat out of the canteen most of the time.
That's right.
You know, but basically the same thing, you know, on the average every day. You know what I'm saying? Talk to my family members. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my son last night. You know, he works. You know, he works for the military, so there's different times of catching him. But basically the same thing over and over. You know what I'm saying? And have hope that I get this case back in court. You know, but other than that, you know, I just keep I try to keep my mind as active as possible, that I don't fall victim like a lot of brothers I have seen incarcerated, being victimized to this life. You know what I'm saying? Stuck, just doing the same nothing. You know.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. You try to make sure that your days are progressive and productive.
Right, most definitely.
Yeah. What's something people on the outside would never understand about prison life?
Oh man, this is mental. You hear me? Being in prison is like mental, because majority of the people outside, I don't know how they look at the people that come to prison. Like, I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, you get 3 meals, and you should be good. You know, you don't have to pay no bills. You don't have to do." It's more to me, and this is my opinion. To me, it's way more than that. You see what I'm saying? Because, like myself, I don't eat the meal that they give out, so I got to eat out of the canteen. So that means you got to stay financially fit to eat out of the canteen. You see what I'm saying? That food keep getting more expensive. But when we say rehabilitation, this is not, you generally is rehabilitating yourself. The system is not rehabilitating you. You see what I'm saying? You yourself have to rehabilitate yourself in order to see something different. If you're not doing that, then you are not being rehabilitated. And you're going to walk back out of here just an older person with the same mentality that you first came in here with. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, you said a mouthful there, well, that's the truth in itself.
So this is the reason why we have
right here.
Yeah.
Because I want to speak about the injustice. Like, because I know you said that, you know, you yourself personally haven't experienced any injustices as far as staff administration goes towards you. But have you witnessed any injustices, abuse, or unprofessional behavior from staff and administration?
Yeah, I mean, I've witnessed staff members beat up people while they're in handcuffs, mace people while they're in handcuffs, taser people while they're in handcuffs. Even if we break down the write-ups, that's injustice of itself. The way that an officer tells a lie on the write-up and gets you convicted of a charge, and you have you have no fighting chance of this write-up. This write-up is basically, it ain't about right and wrong no more. It's about that, yo, the officer wrote you up, and whatever he said, that's what it's going to be.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
When you go to DHO is not hearing that, well, what did the officer do, or what did you do, or here go your statement, or explain yourself. All they ask you is two things. How you plead, guilty or not guilty. If you said not guilty, I'm going to find you guilty. So that right there is injustice of itself. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, that's injustice of itself, because you haven't given me a chance to plead this case. Well, a lot of people don't understand that these write-ups that these officers write us up for, let's say you're somebody like me trying to get back in court. When you go back to court, the court is not looking at that the officer was wrong or the officer told a lie on you. All they're looking at is that, yo, you have this infraction on your jacket. And the first thing the DA brings up is, yo, Your Honor, he's inside of there, he's catching this right, if he's doing this, he's doing that. Don't even understand what just transpired. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a losing battle that you inside of here fighting if you're trying to get back in court or trying to walk on eggshells, because you don't piss the wrong officer off and he get mad at you and write you up, or you don't defend.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
You don't defend yourself like a man and speak to them like a man, so they turn around and they write you up. Now they doing vindictiveness against you just to prove their point. You feel what I'm saying? So the injustice is here. You know, it's not you're not in a place where you're saying, oh, these people is really here watching over us and they treating us in the most respectful manner. If you got 2 officers out of 80 officers, or 3 officers out of 80 officers that treat you with the respect, you got damn near 70-something officers that's into all kinds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I done experienced it so much in my bed that it doesn't even make no sense. I experience it on a daily basis.
Right. So it's not like you dealing with people who is dealing with you in a fierce manner. Let's say that an officer did something, officer did something, and his partner says, "Oh, nah, you was wrong on what you just did." Nah, he's gonna take his side over your side, even though they know that they did you wrong. A prime example of that. I was at this camp where an officer quit. The camp I'm at right now, the officer quit his job back in 2017 because he would not go along with them trying to put a knife charge on me. And because he would not go along with it, the officer said, I didn't sign up for this. And he quit his job. You feel what I'm saying? He's like, when I searched that man's property, I didn't see no knife in his property. He's like, the other officer came out of the yard and searched his property again. Then he said, yo, he found a knife. He said, I can't say that because I searched and I didn't find no knife. You see what I'm saying? So trust me, injustice happens every way inside of this place.
So what rights do you think incarcerated people should be fighting for right now?
They say we have the 14th and 8th Amendment right that protects us, right? But it really doesn't protect us unless it's really brutally that, yo, the officer beat you up to where, yo, there's no way they can hide it. You feel what I'm saying? We should be fighting for rights as far as better living quarters on how we live inside of here. You feel what I'm saying? The food that we eat. You feel what I'm saying? We should be fighting for how do we have programs that help us, not just a few of us, but everybody, that they will sign up and actually get something out of it, that when they walk out of here, they can say, well, yo, we did something while we was locked up. You can't allow a few people to participate in a program and say, well, look, the rest of y'all, if y'all don't want to sign up, that's the thing. No, it should be upon every man that comes through the door to sign up and rehabilitate himself, so he sees and think in a totally different manner when he walk out of here. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of you bringing back 90% of the prisoners back to prison, allow it just to be 5% of the prisoners that come back to prison because they messed around and they didn't make a mistake. But that's not how the system is set up right now. The system is set up where 90 to 95% of the prisoners that goes out the door comes right back to prison sooner or later. And only a 5% gets away, or a 10% gets away to where they don't never come back to prison. Or if they do come back, it's been 20 years down the road. You feel what I'm saying? All
so
that comes from... Huh?
So if you had the chance to speak to lawmakers or the public, what would you want them to hear?
If I had a chance to speak to the lawmakers that governs these laws that they make, right, which is some of the most silliest laws ever, I would have the lawmakers in them establish programs and places. Let's say, for instance, let's look at something like this, right? Everybody in here, you know this for yourself, you've been in here, has a skill to do something that's positive. Even the person that's considering himself to be negative has a skill to do something. Well, all these camps that we have in the state of North Carolina with all this land that's free around it should set up programs so where these guys is able to go and learn trades, to where when they go back to the world, they have something.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
They got something to take back out into the world. These guys don't have nothing that they take back to the world. It's like you destined for them to fail so they could come back in here.
That's right. That's right, my brother. Hey,
you feel what I'm saying?
My brother, but if you will, call back so we could finish.
Yeah, I'm call back.
So we could continue this interview. Behind the Walls Talk.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Behind the Walls Talk continue with my brother, Mr. Anderson Hazelwood. Continue with your wisdom, my brother.
Okay, so like I was saying, I believe that if these prisons or these lawmakers would make up places where these guys can go and study, like let's say you got carpentry, you got barbering, you got all these, but make it a mandatory that they take something that they love doing. Everybody has some field that they love doing. What I've learned through life is that whatever field that you love doing, you seem to put more into it than something that's forced onto you that you don't like doing. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not going to work in a sewing plant. I don't like doing that. So I'm not going to go down there and work. And if I go down there and work because you force me to go down there and work, I'm going to have an attitude and I'm going to do everything in my power to figure out how I get out of there. You feel what I'm saying? Now, sometimes you might go down there and you might fall in love with what is given out. But most of the time, from my experience in life, is that people love doing...
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
They exceed more in what they love doing. And all these camps that we have...
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
All these camps that we have around the state of North Carolina should be providing some form of rehabilitation towards every prisoner that's on their compound. Not a percentage of prisoners, but every prisoner should participate to where they are learning something. So then they can say, like right now, if we wanted to put a lawsuit against the state of North Carolina, you can win the lawsuit against the state of North Carolina because they are not really rehabilitating these guys. But if you go on the computer and look on the computer, it says that we are rehabilitating them, and that's not true. You feel what I'm saying?
That's right.
Rehabilitation is something that the prison system must do towards every offender that comes through their door, and they are not doing that. So, like I said, as far as the lawmakers go, the Department of Correction or whatever they want to call themselves next should be providing this to these guys in there for when they walk out of here, they can have a better chance at the future than coming right back to prison.
That's right. And that leads me to my next question. Like, I'm going to ask you something, man, and I want to give a message to the youth. What would you say to young people who are being misled or turning to crime because of trauma, poverty, or pressure?
And that's a deep question, because a lot of people turn to crimes, rebelling at home, peer pressure by friends, homeboys, And we have to do a better job. You know what I'm saying? Even us as men, getting a chance to go back to society, has to do a better job as connecting with the youth in them that's out there. Because at the end of the day, we live the life. We've been through all the trials and tribulations that the life can give, whether we was a hustler out there, we was a stick-up guy, whatever. We've been there and done all that stuff. And as we get older, we can't be the same people that we was when we was younger. So these guys in them looks up to us because our name is the name that's still out there ringing bells of, oh, this guy was doing this and this guy was doing that. So now they're trying to imitate what we was doing out there. And a lot of them is not doing it in the right manner, but they're still trying it. You feel what I'm saying? And we have to get a better way how we communicate with society, you know, from inside of here. Like, they used to have a time when they brought the kids and them through with the SCARE program, and you get to talk to the kids and get to show them something totally different, and they see that you locked up. And you might ask them a few questions, and they'd be like, nah, I don't want to be inside of this situation, because nobody really want to be in this situation until they are put here. You feel what I'm saying? So, to me, I feel like, it should be better programs out there for the youth in them to go participate, even coming to the places where it's considered to be low income family, because that's where most of the guys in them comes up with leading to crime. And we could eliminate a lot of that. The government itself could eliminate a lot of that, but to me, they wanted to keep happening. You feel what I'm saying? They wanted to keep happening, because if it don't happen, then we don't fill these prisons up. You feel what I'm saying? Look at our society today. When we sit inside of here and look back out there, and you watch the news, you got guys in them 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, carrying big guns, and they killing. And they don't understand they trapping themselves off for a life sentence or 20-year sentence or a 30-year sentence, whatever the case may be. You feel what I'm saying? So education got to be better on how we teach our kids to be better in the future, and not teach them to be and to me, and this is just my thing because I dealt with music, a lot of these rappers is misguiding these guys in them. If being inside of here, you hear a lot of these guys in them walk around and quote rap songs, and what they're saying in the rap song, these guys is not living up to their stuff. The rappers is not living up to their stuff. But to these guys in them that's rapping the song, they believe in this, so they think they're living up to it. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this right here, and I want you to imagine something for me. Just imagine that we're inside of a room. You're standing at the podium, and you have 1,000 kids in front of you. What would you say to them?
Say it again.
We're in a room. You're standing at a podium, and you have 1,000 kids standing in front of you. What would you say to them?
I would explain to them what life looked like once upon a time, and what in their mind, what they're imagining that they think that is right to them is really wrong to them. You feel what I'm saying? And the road that they should be taking to better themselves and see their life and see their future in a better
This
manner.
call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Should not be coming to a prison system. You feel me?
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
How do they succeed and keep succeeding? How do you take care of their kids that some of them is already kids trying to raise their own kids? And how do they like I used to ask a lot of young guys that was caught up in gangs. You got kids, you got boys. Do you want your son to be a part of a gang? And the answer that every one of them said was no. So you ask yourself, then what are you giving out? You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we gotta be setting an example to what these kids and them is gonna do for their future. Because if they're there being in prison, there is no future in being in prison. I mean, you can make the best of it, you know, but there's really no future in this.
That's right.
There's no future at all. You know, I sit down inside of here and I watch some of these guys. We got an academic. We got an academic that's going on that nobody is paying attention to. There is more and more people coming to prison for child molestation on little kids, which is the craziest stuff I heard. When I first came to prison, it was guys that was coming for selling drugs. Guys was robbing. Yeah, you might have some breaking and entering. You might have some guys for smoking crack or heroin, whatever. But today, we are surrounded by guys that's molesting little kids. And if you ever had kids, like I got a granddaughter right now, just a phantom of a grown man trying to do something that's unsanitized to her is not phantom in my brain. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the system of what's going on right now is out of hand. So we got to find a way on what we're going to do as far as learning and bettering ourselves on what we're going to do when we go back out there. And even while we're inside of here, how do we talk to these young guys and that's about to go back out there into society and not come back to this crap? Because it's upon us. We're the older guys now. So if we are not talking to them and showing them, yo, that shit that you thinking that's cool, it's really not cool, homeboy. You're going to go back out there, you want to come back, the first answer they tell you, no, I ain't coming back. But you always see them come back. So it has to be something amongst everybody has to come together and play a part of it if they want to better the youth that's growing up right now, to allow them to see something different. You know what I'm saying? And it starts with the rappers. It starts with the rappers and it starts with the people in the community. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we was growing up, you had your parents and them. If they were doing something that was outside, they didn't tell you that it was cool to do. They disciplined you that was wrong, even though they might have been doing something. We don't have that no more. We got kids raising kids, so whatever the kid is doing that he think is cool, he letting his son do it or his daughter do it. So there's no guidance being put forth, and it's only happening in our community.
That's right. There's no discipline being instilled.
You feel what I'm saying?
No proper guidance, no proper knowledge, wisdom, or understanding given to the child.
Right. So automatically the child is being raised in the wrong manner. And then when you look at the videos or the rap songs that's being played, that even discourages the child to think that what he's doing is cool when it's not. If we go back to the 90s and we listen to rap music that was playing back in the 90s, like people be telling me all the time, they be like, man, you stuck in the past. It's not I'm stuck in the past, it's just that what they were telling me back then had some meaning to it. It tells me something that was real. What's going on today is not giving me the music today. It's not telling me nothing. So I go back and listen to something that was speaking to my mind. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, so let me ask you this right here. If you could talk to your younger self, what would you say?
Oh man, if I could talk to my younger self, I'd tell my younger self that, man, the road that you thinking that you're going down right now is really not the right road. And I have a better road for you to go down that would allow you to see things and get everything that you thought that you was chasing at a younger self, that you would have all that stuff just like that. But you would not have to go down that road. You feel what I'm saying? I would definitely talk to that younger self and jack him up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because the younger me was hard-headed, you know. So I would definitely, a lot of people tell, yo, man, what you doing? But you didn't see it like that. Yeah. Not going down the road I go down sometimes led to where you at right now. Sometimes you can see the bigger picture and you can walk away from it. But it's very hard once you get caught up in that lifestyle. It takes a life-changing event for you to start seeing things differently. If not, you're not going to see it in a different manner.
That's right. That's right. Hey, let me change the temperature a little.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Hey, if you would, just hang on, call right back, my brother.
Okay.
Behind the Walls Talk will continue. Behind the Walls Talk continue with my brother, Mr. Anderson Hazelwood. And Mr. Hazelwood, what does a second chance of society mean to you?
A second chance in society means a whole lot to me. You know, means me going out there and being a better father, being a grandfather, being a better son, staying away from the life I once lived, from the people that was a part of the life that I once lived, you know, and doing more productive stuff for society. At this moment in time, I'm doing I'm about to put a foundation together from behind here that Anderson Hazelwood Foundation will start trying to help people that's out there as far as from different walks, not just one thing, but single mother, you know, women that's considered to be single
This call
mother,
is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
people that's going through different trials and tribulations in their life. I want the foundation to be able to play a part in everything that somebody is going.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
It might be a disaster. It might be a disaster, a storm. It might be that a person had an accident and lost their car, couldn't afford whatever it is that helps a person remove that burden that's put on them. I want Anderson Hazelwood Foundation to be able to play a part and help them in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? So that's my focus right now. We're putting this foundation together. Car accident, people that have car accidents, what you go through, you know, the different things. Everybody is not financially stable to where they have insurance and all these different things to bury them and all these kind of stuff. So I want to be able to help people from every angle that I can, you know. So a second chance to me definitely would be walk in a different direction in life that I have not have done. You know, you out there, you help people here and there, but actually focusing on really helping people. You know, so yeah, definitely a second chance is definitely definitely a walk in a different direction.
Okay, so if you were, let me ask you this right here. If you was released tomorrow, what would be the first thing you do?
If I was to be released tomorrow, the first thing I would do, you know, I would go to the masjid and offer some salats, you know what I'm saying, thanking the Most High for bringing me back to society. But then I would go and see my mother, you know what I'm saying, see my son, see my granddaughter, see my family, you know what I'm saying. My mother, like I said, my mother, she's going through her own little trials right now, and she's up there in age, you know what I'm saying. So definitely go see her, help her out a little bit, because she run daycares and stuff in New York, but she definitely needs the help right now, you know.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, Ace. Hey, what do you want people to remember about you?
Remember the stand-upness. Remember the word. Remember that, you know what I'm saying, that I stood on my word, that whatever I said, I try my best by the help of God to do exactly that and nothing less. That I didn't have time playing games or you didn't see me hang out with the people that was considered to be BS. You know, the guys that came that hung out with me, or the guys that I hung out with, was always stand-up individuals. You feel what I'm saying? That there was a code that we lived by, no matter who was trying to change their life. That code was always their code. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's right. Are there any last words you would like to share with the listeners of Behind the Walls Talk?
It's time for us to start waking up. It's time for us to start letting our yes be our yes and our no's be our no's. The people that hasn't been a part of our life, don't give them a chance to be a part of your life when you go back out to the world. No, that's one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of guys make. They have not have these people in their life, and they go back out there into the world, and the people who were standing with them, they walk away from them and go back to the people who was never standing with them. And then when they come back in here, they expect that those people, they're supposed to stand with them again. They never stood with you in the first place. So
that's right. Hey, yo, Hayes,
you
man.
can stay focused on that. Stay focused in going home and not coming back to prison. Stay focused in going home and not running into the homeboy that you ain't seen in years that tell you, yo, come, let's go hang out at the club, and you feel that he's really looking out for you. Really, he's looking out for his best interest. You know?
Hey, yo, Mr. Anderson Hazelwood, I appreciate your interview, man. I appreciate
you, and I thank
you. Man.
I thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a blessing, man. It was definitely a pleasure of mine to be able to interview you today, and I appreciate you very much, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. You know what I mean?
So I'd like to close with this right here. I want to thank you for sharing your truth, your pain, your lessons, and your hope. Here on Behind the Walls Talk, we don't just tell stories, we build bridges. Your words today have the power to reach beyond these walls, to spark understanding and to remind the world that change is possible. To those listening on the outside, never forget, behind every prison idea is a human being. To those still inside, your voice is still powerful. Your future is still yours. And your story is not over. We see you, we hear you, and we're fighting with you.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
And like I said, my brother, Mr. Anderson Hazelwood, I appreciate you, my brother.
And I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank your wife.
This call is from a North Carolina